Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Scott and this is another My Bourbon Journey review. So if you're new to this channel and you're looking for reviews of different whiskeys such as bourbons and ryes, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also hit the bell notification. That's going to alert you to when I'm doing new uploads or live streams. Also, I'll have linked in the description below. In the event you want to contribute to the channel, I'll have the PayPal and my Patreon links again in the description below. So today I'm going to be doing a review of the newest release from MGP. This is the Rossville Union barrel strength straight rye whiskey. So again, this is the newest and first release under the MGP brand, called again Rossville Union barrel strength. There are two different versions of this. There's a 94 proof, I think basically master distiller release, something along those lines. Actually, let's see, what is that? Mastercraft, excuse me. It's the Mastercraft release. Both are technically considered that. One is a 94 proof and the other being 12.6 proof, which is this barrel strength that I'm going to be doing a review of today. So I guess just a little bit of history going back to 1847 when there actually was a Rossville Union distillery, which is basically where MGP or the MGP building or distillery is these days. So I think they wanted to go back to the roots of where it kind of all began and kind of honored the Rossville Union name and created their own rye whiskey. So that was pretty neat in terms of being able to kind of go back to the lineage of when it all began there in Lawrenceburg, Indiana. So again, this is the Rossville Union barrel strength straight rye whiskey, 112.6 proof. So the batches on this in terms of the blend is relatively small in today's kind of small batch releases. This batch is essentially, as they've documented, only 83 barrels that were blended and creating the barrel strength version. The 94 proof is quite a bit higher in 159 barrel blends to create the 94 proof rye whiskey as well. So anyway, why don't we go ahead and we'll get into the review. So typically what I try to do is we'll go through the appearance, the nose, the palate, the finish, and then kind of get into maybe pricing and where it's available and would it be something I would recommend. So let's go ahead and we'll kind of get into this a little bit. So I don't know if you can see a nice kind of amberish color to it. Really nice and kind of a deep amber. It is only aged according to the website 4 years. So we know this is going to be a straight rye whiskey, 4 years old. I don't know on the bottle, since this was actually given to me by a great guy on Instagram. I'll have him linked in there if you want to follow him on Instagram as well. So Scott, thanks for the sample of this. I appreciate it. So anyway, getting back to the review. So as you could see before, a nice kind of amberish color. So let's get into the nosing. So right up front, you get hit with, with it being a little windy, I'm picking it up without even having to put my nose in it much, but you get hit with a really nice amount of mint, assuming this is maybe their high rye mash bill. Wasn't able to find where that was disclosed, but this is going to be, I'm guessing, their high rye mash bill. Yeah, so really up front, a lot of the mint, some of that oak is really there, a cherry kind of note to it, like a burnt sugar. Really kind of that nice sweetness is kind of coming through. For sure, some caramel is there. You're really getting that nice rye spice that's there as well. Not a ton of heat for it being 112 proof. Not a lot of heat on the nose. You're not getting a lot of those vapors or anything along those lines. Well, let's get into the taste. Cheers. So right up front with this, I get hit with a ton of cherry. A little bit of chocolate kind of there on the back of the palate. That mint is definitely coming through from the rye. A little bit of a nutty character to it as well. It's really, really nice. A lot of different flavors are kind of coming out as I kind of go through this and talk a little bit. You know, there's different layers that kind of keep coming through. Yeah, that rye kind of kicks in towards the mid to the back of the palate. Wants to kind of sit there a little bit, so you kind of continue to get that nice kind of rye spice, which is really nice. A little bit caramel kind of coming through as well. Sweet, nice rye spice, kind of a sweet rye type of spice to it. Finish wise, you know, probably on the medium side. Yeah, probably, you know, a little bit on the medium side, but yeah, for sure that rye spice is really wanting to kind of come through. I mean, my guess would be, without knowing the mash bill, this has got to be MGP's higher rye mash bill. Again, I don't know exactly the extent of the mash bill, but again, I'm guessing on the high rye side of things. So yeah, really, really nice. I think they've done a really good job. I mean, you would think, with it being MGP and having the ability to pull the barrels that they want under their brand, that, you know, they'd start to maybe mix in or pick some honey barrels and do some really nice blending, which I think they've done a really nice job. I mean, this is a fairly complex, you know, rye whiskey, and I think they've really done a fantastic job with it. You know, this would be something that would be really nice to just sit back, sip on. You know, would be fantastic probably in a cocktail, would hold up very well. You know, you get very, very little burn with it being 112 proof. It's, you know, it's not drinking like 112 proof. I mean, it's more along the lines of, you know, a 95 type of proof. But again, really easy to sip on, enjoyable, complex, you know, not overly viscous. I mean, it does want to coat the mouth a little bit. But really, overall, they've done a really nice job. I'm impressed, and you know, would like to at some point try the 94 proof as a side-by-side, just to see kind of how they both hold up against each other. So yeah, again, fantastic job. Price-wise, I've seen this is about, the barrel strength is about $70 US, and their 94 proof rye is about $40. Now, in terms of location, I've seen it appears to only be released for the most part in the Midwest. I saw Arizona was mixed in there, but most of the states that I've seen have all been in the essentially the Midwest. So, which makes sense with it being Lawrenceburg, Indiana. I think they want to get it out to, you know, kind of the local-ish type of area, and kind of, you know, see how things go and the reaction they get. But again, I think they've done a good job. If this is any indication of, you know, what they're going to kind of continue to produce down the road, I'm a huge fan of you know, a lot of things that MGP does and puts out, and this being one of them. So, you know, again, they've done a fantastic job with this. So, would this be something I would recommend? I would highly. If you enjoy sipping on a really nice rye whiskey, or want a really nice craft cocktail, you've got a fantastic product here. So again, like, subscribe, leave me comments. Let me know if any of you have had this. I'd be interested to know whether it's the barrel strength or the 94 proof. I'd be very interested to know your thoughts. If you enjoyed it, why, you know, where you're from, where you're picking it up, and maybe what you're paying for it in your area. So again, I'll have some links in the description below to, you know, the Patreon, the PayPal, any other description of the rye whiskey, things along those lines. So leave me comments. Again, thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.